Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back with another interesting topic in Vedic astrology today. And today we'll be talking about something very difficult today. I wouldn't say it's negative because there's nothing negative and positive in this world. It's slightly a difficult subject, and it's the truth because we're going to be talking about death today, and death is the ultimate truth in our lives. We all have to die one day. But how the death is going to be, that is important. Whether you're going to die a peaceful death, or whether you fall from a cliff and die, or whether you're going to die a very painful death where you'll be bedridden for years. There have been cases. So today we'll be talking about a specific shloka which have been given to us by the ancient sages. And by the way, I just wanted to remind you again that all my videos are a direct reference to the ancient scriptures. It's not a figment of imagination of any modern day astrologer. So today we'll be talking about a specific shloka given to us which gives us a combination, and there could be other combinations as well which could explain the same result. But this particular combination says that if this combination happens, then a person is going to die a unnatural death. So what is an unnatural death? Where the person could die early on in his life through an accident or through some kind of a disease, or which is not natural. Natural death is, as per the ancient scriptures, once again, 0 to 25 years, as per the Hindu scriptures, say that it's brahmacharya ashram. Ashram is not that ashram where you go and live. Ashram is the phase of life, as per Sanskrit as well. That also means this meaning. So 0 to 25 years is brahmacharya ashram, where a person generally, not generally, but has to, acquire knowledge and stay as a celibate. And then after 25 years, or once he turns 25 years, he gets married, and between 25 years and 50 years, he lives a life of a grahastha, which is a householder. And then between the ages of 50 and 75, it's vanaprastha, where he is going to settle his own children, and who have actually matured to a young age, and then he'll help them get married and support them in all whatever ways, and he's gonna get slightly spiritual in his life. And then between 75 and 100 years, that is sannyasa ashram, which is the period of renunciation kind of a thing. He's gonna probably go and meditate somewhere. And that was the ancient times, and of course today people are active in day-to-day lives until 90, 95, whatever, play tennis until 90. So I'm not saying that one should do that, but as per the ancient way of life, this was what was mentioned in the Hindu scriptures. Okay, so, and that's the natural way of life. That's, a person is a child, he grows up in the grahastha ashram, acquires knowledge, he's celibate, gets married, then so on and so forth. That happens. So, and then when death happens in the final phase of his life, then that's considered a natural death. Okay, and something unnatural is untimely or unnatural. An untimely death is different from unnatural, but at the same time, an untimely death will happen only when he dies in an unnatural way. Otherwise, why would he die? Okay, so a natural death could be, somebody dying by a very dreadful disease like cancer or something, that's unnatural. So that becomes untimely. So they're connected, kind of. So today we're going to be talking about this combination, which is coming from the shlokas, about when does that happen. And this shloka says that in case the Arudha Lagna, the Arudha, if people don't know what then Arudha Lagna or Arudha ascendant is, please refer to my earlier videos. And the shloka says that in case the Arudha Lagna or the Arudha ascendant and the Arudha of the 7th house, so just like we have the Arudha of the birth chart in terms of a lagna or an ascendant, we have arudhas for all the 12 houses. So once again, if you're not familiar with what arudha is, refer to my earlier videos. So the shloka says that in case the Arudha Lagna and, so it's not or, it's and the Arudha of the 7th house, and take those into consideration, which is in generic terms you can call as AL, which is Arudha Lagna, and A7, which is the Arudha of the 7th house. And in case from the Arudha Lagna and from the Arudha of the 7th house, the 5th house from there falls in a movable sign, then a person dies an unnatural death. So once again, I'm going to repeat, both, you should consider both the Arudha Lagna and the Arudha of the 7th house, okay? And in case the zodiac signs from both the Arudha Lagna and the Arudha of the 7th house, if you calculate the 5th house from there and it falls in a movable Rashi or a movable zodiac sign, then that person dies an unnatural death, okay? Pretty simple. Take the Arudha Lagna, calculate 5 houses from it. If it is a movable sign, then take the Arudha of the 7th house, and from that point go 5 houses from there. And in case both these zodiac signs, one from the Arudha Lagna and the second from the Arudha Lagna of the 7th house, falls in a movable sign, then the person dies an unnatural death. And why I'm discussing this video is very important, because you know, in case you see such kind of a combination in somebody's chart, then you have to advise him to be extremely cautious in his life, okay? He has to be extremely careful in terms of in terms of not living a very adventurous life, not doing something very adventurous which is out of line of a normal person, like going mountaineering or rock climbing or any kind of a sport, like what kind of car racings they have, the specific car where they make special cars and they race, something like that, something very dangerous. They shouldn't be formula car racing. They shouldn't be doing anything very risky, okay? And that's how you can, and by the way, don't just jump to a conclusion based on the shloka itself. In case there is a dirgha ayu yoga or a long life yoga in that person's chart as well, then of course this negative effect which I just discussed, the negative combination can be cancelled to a great extent. So in astrology, don't just look at one shloka and come to a conclusion. Look at it from all angles. And I know it's very difficult to remember, but that's what the ancient scriptures say. So if the positive is more than negative, then of course the negative is going to be nullified, and if negative is more than positive, look at several combinations or yogas, and if positives are more, then of course the negative is not going to fructify, okay? So don't jump to a conclusion, but this is a very important combination. And if you see on the screen, this is a birth chart of a person who was a very prominent person, and he died an unnatural death, and he died a death in an air crash, okay? He died an unnatural death. He was not very very old. He was pretty middle-aged person, cannot call him old, and he died in an air crash. So once again, he was flying on his private plane when he died, so he did take a risk by having his own aircraft or whatever. So that's the purpose, that one has to be cautious, and not that he probably would have not been cautious enough, but if he had known that this kind of a combination is there in his birth chart, then probably he would have taken some kind of a precaution, but probably not, okay? I'm not sure, but let's discuss his chart. So this chart is of a very prominent personality called Madhav Rao Scindia. He was the king of Gwalior. Of course, there's no kingdoms these days, but he was a symbolic head who descended from the Gwalior royal family. So although practically he was not a king, but you know, he was the son of the king of Gwalior, and he inherited that kingdom in terms of just like a symbolic king. But Madhura Sindhya died in air crash. Okay, and let's see how this shloka explains his birth chart. So the Arudha of the Lagna, which is the Arudha Lagna, falls where Mercury is positioned in the zodiac sign of Pisces. Okay, you can see that on the screen. So that's his Arudha Lagna. And if you see the Arudha Lagna of the 7th house, that also falls in the same place in the zodiac sign of Pisces. Okay, now this is a special combination. You know, the shloka does not say that the Arudha has, and the shloka does not say that the Arudha Lagna and the Arudha of the 7th house should fall in the same place. But in his case, this is kind of a specific case where both the Arudha Lagna and the Arudha of the 7th house are falling in the zodiac sign of Pisces. Okay, and you count 5 signs from it. So from Pisces, if you count 5 signs of it from Pisces, it comes to the zodiac sign of Cancer, and Cancer is a movable sign. Okay, so this shloka falls, or this shloka is confirming the accuracy. We can confirm the accuracy of this shloka through this birth chart, so as to say. Okay, that 5th house from the Arudha Lagna and 5th house from the Arudha of the 7th house falls in a zodiac sign which is a movable sign, which is Cancer. Here you can see. Okay, but nonetheless, you know, if his Arudha was falling, or if in any chart the Arudha Lagna and the Arudha of the 7th house were falling in different zodiac signs, then we would calculate 5th house from the Arudha Lagna and 5th house from the Arudha Lagna of the 7th house, and then see that if both the zodiac signs, which are Arudha Lagna, which are 5th from the Arudha Lagna and 5th from the Arudha of the 7th house, if both are having a movable sign in that zodiac sign, which is the 5th from the Arudha Lagna and the Arudha of the 7th house, then of course as well this shloka will apply here. But in his case, once again, both the Arudha Lagna and the Arudha Lagna of the 7th house are falling in Pisces. So if you count 5 houses from Pisces, it is Cancer, and it confirms the accuracy of this shloka that, you know, since it's a movable sign, he died an unnatural death. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And once again, I'll remind you, don't jump to a conclusion based on this shloka itself. Look at other positive combinations as well, which can give a long life. And do not jump to any kind of a conclusion based on just this. But I thought, you know, you'll enjoy this shloka, which is coming directly from the ancient scriptures. So hopefully, you know, I'll see you soon with another interesting topic in Vedic astrology. In the meanwhile, I would recommend subscribe to my channel, check out my website, there is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic once again very soon. Goodbye.